What's up everybody, this is Yair and today we are going to draw Mystic Gohan. Okay, so today we are going to draw Mystic Gohan. It's gonna be a full body and a fighting stance, so it's gonna be a bit more advanced, but take it as a challenge. I'm gonna use an A3 sized paper for that. I drew a perfect square, each side is 3.5 centimeters. We are going to start by drawing the shape of his face. Next I'm gonna use this guideline and I'm gonna indicate the wrinkles between the eyes. His left eye will be noticeably smaller than the right eye. And we'll place the pupil closer to the left side. Now we'll draw his right eye. As you can tell, the eyebrow gets thicker towards the edge. And we'll use 3 lines to create the eye. Make sure to give them a nice curve. And we'll place the pupil on the center, slightly to the left. Again, because we want them to look directly at us. Awesome, so I'm gonna add the cheek marks. And you can follow these steps to draw the nose. Add some wrinkles to make him look more fierce. And then we'll draw the mouth really close to the nose with a very tiny gap. I'm gonna make him shout as he charges to throw a punch. Once we got the shape of the mouth, I'm gonna start detailing by adding the teeth and his tongue. Awesome, now we can continue by drawing his ear. So again, we'll start with the shape and then refine it with the details. Once that's done, we can continue by drawing the sideburns and his hairline. We'll draw his famous spike of hair. And now we can zoom out and draw the rest of the spikes. So I'm gonna start by drawing one spike here and another one on the right side, and then I'm gonna use this guideline to help me keep the right proportions of the hair. And all you have to do now is just add the rest of the spikes. Awesome, so it looks good, and now we can add some highlights to the hair. So for this drawing, the main light source will come from the left side, so we're gonna add the highlights on the left side. And I want to add additional highlights on the middle, so I'm gonna add some spikes. I'll draw the highlights, and then I'm gonna get rid of the unnecessary lines. Awesome, so we are done with the hair. Now we can move on to the body. That will be a bit more difficult, but if you'll go through the steps, you can make it, no doubt. So I'm gonna start by drawing the line of action, which means the posture or the pose of the character. So I'm gonna start by using one curved line all the way here, and then I'll draw 2 lines for his arms. So this is the main line of action, and now I'm gonna add the body parts. So I'll start with his torso, then I'll continue by drawing the shape of his right arm, the shape of his right leg, his left leg will be bent, and then finally the left arm, which he charges for a punch. Okay, now obviously this is not the final results, but we got the overall shape. From that we can work and add the details. So I'm gonna zoom in and we'll focus on his upper body. We'll start by drawing the traps and the neck muscles. Then I'm gonna indicate his shirt and the armor underneath. I'm gonna add his chest muscles. And then we find the shirt just like that. Awesome. So now I'm gonna focus on his left arm. I'm gonna draw his forearm, the handband, and the shape of the hand. We'll refine it by adding the bicep and start working on the hand. So obviously it's gonna be a fist. So I'm gonna draw his pillows, and in order to draw the fingers you need to think of cylinders and shapes. So once we draw the thumb, we can add the rest of the fingers. As you can see, I'm working with the boundaries of the guidelines I created earlier. That way we'll keep the right proportions and we don't need to erase over and over again. Awesome, so now we'll just add the details. His thumbnail. And some creases. Awesome, and now we can focus on his right arm. So this arm obviously is gonna be bigger than the left. For obvious reasons, it's closer to the camera. I'm gonna start by refining the shoulder and add the bicep. Then we'll add the tricep and the forearm. We'll add his handband right there, and just like before I'm gonna start by drawing the shape of his hand, and then I'll draw the fingers. So I'm gonna start with his thumb, refine the pillows, and add the rest of the fingers. So these two fingers are gonna be bent. Draw the knuckles. And working with cylinders again. This is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and we'll do the same for his index finger. So it's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. Awesome, so now I'm gonna add the details. Don't get frustrated if you don't make it the first time. Drawing hands is really difficult. Okay, so once we're done with that, I'm gonna refine the handband and his forearm. And put some finishing touches on his gi. Awesome, so now we can add his belt. and draw some random creases. And finally we can move on to the legs. So just like before, by using the guidelines, I'm gonna add some creases, try to make it look puffy a bit. And we'll zoom in a bit to draw his boot. Awesome, and we'll do the same for his right leg. Awesome, and we are done with the sketching, so now we can start inking this entire drawing. Make sure to review your drawing before. If you need to correct some things and fix some mistakes, make sure to do them now, because once you go black you can never go back. Okay, so I'm gonna start by using a 0.05 black pen and just go all over the lines. Don't forget to rotate the page, because you want to get as much comfort as you can, and you want to work with your natural hand movement. Personally, for me, inking is the less enjoyable part. I like the sketching and the coloring much better, but it's part of the process. Awesome, so once we are done, I'm gonna use the notorious charcoal eraser to get rid of all the lead. So other than being notorious, the charcoal eraser doesn't erase much of the ink, and that's why I'm using it. But for those stubborn areas, I'm gonna use the exquisite eraser stick. Make sure to do a fine job of erasing, cause if you don't, the lead might smear all over your drawing, and that's fucked up. Okay, so once it's clean, we can start using the Copic markers. Those are alcohol-based markers, which means they can blend very well. If you'll check your top left of the screen, you can see the exact number of Copic I'll be using. We are going to start by coloring his shirt, so we'll use orange tones for that. I'm gonna start with the bright tone and just fill these areas. Next, I'm gonna use the darkest tone and color the most shaded areas of the shirt. And now I'm gonna use the mid-tone. Okay, I'm gonna do some blending. We can do the blending with the brightest tone and with the mid-tone. Awesome, once you're done with that, we can move on to the pants using the same colors, only first I'm gonna start with the darkest tone. So just like before, coloring the most shaded areas of his pants. Next, I'll use the brightest tone. then the mid-tone. Finishing with some blending. And what do you know, the same process for the left leg as well. Awesome, now we can color his armor. So I'm gonna use 3 tones of blue for that. I'm gonna start with the brightest one, which will be B23. Then using the darkest tone again for the most shaded areas. And using the mid-tone to blend the two. Okay, and we'll do the same process for his belt, for the rest of the armor, his handbands and his boots. Same color. Awesome, so once we are done with the blue, I'm gonna use some red for those areas of the boots. And a bit darker red just to get some nice shade. We'll color his laces with some brown. Awesome, so now we can focus on his skin. So for the skin I'm gonna use 4 tones. I'm gonna demonstrate how to color his left hand. We're going to start with the brightest tone, and as you can see I'm leaving some blank areas just to get a nice highlight. And if you don't know by now, the areas that sticks out more get most of the light. We'll continue with the second color and just color those shaded areas. Then a darker tone for the darker areas. and finally the darkest tone, which will be YR02. And to finish up, just blend the shit out of those colors. And you can also use the colorless blender for the blank areas, just to get a nice smooth transaction. Awesome, and I'm gonna do the same process, or almost the same process, for the muscles, only I'm gonna start with the darkest tone first and then go from the lighter tones. And you can just look at your top left to be sure. Awesome, so we are going to do the same process for his chest, the neck muscles, and his left arm. A quick tip, try not to blend it too much, because it might ruin the colors, and of course try to color with the direction of the shape. Okay, so we are going to start by using the darkest color, and I'm gonna mark the deepest areas, the most shaded areas of the face. Then I'm gonna use the second darker color, and as you can see, I'm gonna leave some blank areas on the bump above his eye and on his left cheek. Next, I'm gonna use the brightest color. And then just some finishing touches. I'm gonna blend, add some more shade with E02. And mark the shade area from his spike of hair. And to finish up, I'm just gonna use the colorless blender again for those blank areas. Awesome, so we are done with the skin tone, and now I'm gonna color the mouth. I'm gonna start by coloring the tongue. Just gonna use two colors for that with some blending, and then just color the muzzle. Awesome, we'll continue with the eyes. I'm gonna start by using C5, then I'll use C7, a bit darker gray, and as you can tell I'm creating a highlight on his left side. And finally we'll use the black tone, and of course blending with number 0. Awesome, so now I'm just gonna fill the blank areas of the eyebrows with black, no need for blending. And we'll start coloring the highlights. So I'm gonna start with C7, a dark gray. and then just use C5, a brighter gray. And all we have to do now is just take the black marker and fill the blank areas until I'll use my catchphrase. We are done, everybody. This is how you draw Mystic Gohan. If you made it this far, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Give yourself a pat on the back and a like for this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Of course, feel free to share the video with your friends to support my channel. I upload new videos and tutorials every weekend. I'm gonna wish you a happy new year. I'm very fortunate to have you guys. Trust me, I don't take it for granted. So keep being awesome, and I'll see you next year. Peace.